What is up, everybody? How y'all doing? What is good with you? We are gonna look tonight and see what the person that you're dealing with or thinking about or whoever the hell it is. We're gonna see what they want from you. What do they want from you? This is one of my favorite all signs videos to do. I know I haven't done very many all signs videos in a while, ever since I started making the weekly check-ins individual sign videos. I need to get back on that though, don't I? All right, so if any of you are in need of a personal reading, if you want, you can just go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. But I do have a link for my website right down here in the description of this video. So I haven't done this in a long time, and I didn't even think about how I'm going to lay this out. I don't even remember how I did it last time. Let's just see what wants to come through. Aries, let's see what this person wants from you. What's this person want from Aries, universe? Queen of Coins reversed. Well, honestly, there's a... this is so scattered. This is in like 10 different directions at once. First of all, for those of you dealing with somebody from the past, they want you to be the one that breaks the silence. Now, the main message that I'm seeing here, I'm thinking about how I'm going to word it. Because it's, okay, so I almost want to use the word intimidated, but not quite. It's like they know that in order to be with you, they would have to step their game up. And they don't want to step their game up. They want you to step your game down. Does that make sense? I hope I worded that right. They also want you to let your guard down. If you are angry at something that they did, they want you to just let it go and forget about it. Don't they all? Isn't that what they always say whenever somebody fucks you over? Well, can't you just let it go and move on? You know? Some of you may be dealing with somebody who's accused you of holding a grudge. That's a really common manipulation tactic that people will use to be able to mistreat you and just get away with it. It's like, no, there's a difference between holding a grudge and setting boundaries. All right? Only I know if I'm holding a grudge. I know where my heart is. I know what my intentions are. I know how I feel. I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm setting boundaries. You want to call that holding a grudge? Fine. Fuck you. I don't care. Call it what you want. You want to go tell everybody I'm holding a grudge? Go ahead. Go tell it on the mountain. I really don't give a fuck. And like I said, for those of you dealing with somebody you're not in contact with, they want you to be the one to reach out. But the question with all of this stuff is why? Why? What's the end goal? I don't really think they've thought that far into it. Because of all of the scattered random ass messages that just came out just now, I don't see anything that indicates them wanting to be with you. That doesn't necessarily mean that they don't. It's just that I think this person's priorities are all fucked up. I don't even think they really know exactly what it is that they want. You know? Let's get some advice. Jesus. What advice do we have for Aries? What's the advice? I'm almost getting that little whistle down. What's the advice for Aries, universe? Advice. Ooh, there it is. That's yelling at me. How many of y'all took my How to Read Tarot course? That's yelling at me right there. Man, put your foot down and stand on my fucking business. You better set your goddamn boundaries. I'm going to tell you what, man. Set boundaries, set boundaries, set fucking boundaries. My wife and I were just talking to my daughter about this earlier at the dinner table, about why it's so important to set boundaries. You know, because you let somebody cross them boundaries, I swear to God, they're going to take advantage of you. They're going to play with that. You know, most people don't have the heart to say, okay, well, I'm not going to take advantage of that. You know, I'm glad that I was given the privilege to have a second chance. I'm not going to take advantage of it. You know, I'm not saying that nobody on the history of planet Earth would do that, but not very many. 95% of the time, when you let somebody cross your boundaries and, you know, you fall back on your word, most people are just going to take advantage of that and steamroll right over you. Let's see if anything else wants to come out. Also, well, this kind of goes into what we were just talking about, that it probably wouldn't be the greatest idea in the world if you were the one to reach out, if you're dealing with somebody you're not in communication with. And I think everything that comes out here is a different form of boundaries. Every message that I'm getting here is a different form of setting boundaries. You know, you don't need to be the one that reaches out, and you have to have what you would consider to be deal breakers. That's a big part of setting boundaries. There has to be certain things that if somebody crosses a line, you don't go back from that. And so for those of you who dealt with infidelity, domestic violence, some of the worst possible things that can happen in a relationship, you're going to have to set some kind of deal breaker. Because I swear, you let this person cross your boundaries, they will take advantage of that. So, just saying, better put that foot down and stand on business. Whatever that means to whomever. All right, Taurus. What's this person want from Taurus, universe? What do they want from you? I don't know. With the Ten of Swords reversed, the phrase that I hear really loudly in my head is just get over it. I don't know what that means. I don't know if you got mad at them for something, or if they fucked you over, or maybe they fucking stabbed you in the back. And it's just like, get over it. You know? Move on type shit. And, oh yeah, they want you to lose the attitude, whatever that means. Okay, yeah, they want you to stop being so stubborn, too. Whoops. And the Fool card. If you're dealing with somebody that you're not in communication with, they want you to come chasing after them. They want you to think that they're walking away. They want that to bother you and scare you so that you'll come chasing after them. But the big overlying message that I have here with the Three of Swords reversed, Ten of Swords reversed, get over it. Quit being so damn stubborn and lighten up a little bit. This is coming from them, not from me. But again, hey, look, got the Devil card there. So I have an idea that a lot of you are dealing with a person that, no, you don't just get over that. I'm not saying you don't heal, but when you heal from the things that a lot of you dealt with this person, that's going to turn you into a completely different person that wants nothing to do with anyone on this vibrational frequency. You heal from this, people of this caliber won't even make their way into your existence anymore. It's wild. It's weird. I'll give you an example. 10 years ago, I genuinely thought that everybody smoked cigarettes. Everybody. That's just what I thought. Every single person I met, every person, every acquaintance, coworker, boss, friend, every single person that was ever a part of my existence was a cigarette smoker. So I literally, in my heart, thought that 90 to 95% of people smoke cigarettes. It was weird to meet someone who didn't. You know, now, 10 years later, I haven't met an actual cigarette smoker in, oh God, 7 or 8 years. Now, I'll have one every now and then. I got this old pack sitting here. It's been sitting here for a while. It'll probably sit here for another 2 or 3 months. I'll grab one when I go out sometimes, when we go downtown to the strip. But as far as an actual smoker, somebody that smokes like a pack a day type shit, do they even exist anymore? I haven't seen one. I haven't met one. Sometimes I'm thinking, God damn, the tobacco industry is just going to crumble. They don't even make their way into my existence anymore. I'm not even on that frequency anymore. So similarly, when you ascend up out of a certain frequency, the types of people that you see in the world will disappear. It's crazy, dude. And that's kind of the situation you're dealing with here. This isn't something that you just get over or let go of and move on and just let it go and move on like nothing happened. No. Anyway, before I keep talking, let's get some advice here. What advice do we have? Good for us. So first of all, don't let anybody make you feel like your feelings are not valid. Don't let anybody belittle you for the way you feel. But at the same time, if somebody is belittling you for the way you feel, that's not somebody you need in your life anyways. Not somebody you need in your life anyways. This person, for some of you, has shown you their true colors many times. And at some point, after somebody shows you their true colors once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, we got to accept the fact that that's just your true colors. Don't try to repaint them. Don't cave. Don't fold. Don't let your guard down. It's okay to forgive and love someone from a distance. Fuck what they think. Fuck what anyone thinks. I know it sounds trendy to say this, but it literally does not matter what anyone thinks. The universe doesn't give a fuck about that. The universe does not care what anyone thinks about you. The only thing the universe cares about is the actual vibration that's being emitted by your heart. What's really going on in your heart and mind. Don't waste any fucking time trying to mold somebody's perception of you. It is a waste of time. The universe does not care about that. Okay? So you can forgive someone and love someone from a distance. If they want to think all these horrible things about you, let them. Let them. What is that going to do to you? Oh, well, I don't want them to think this. Think it. Go think it. I don't give a fuck. That's not going to do nothing to me. Go think what you want. Go think it some more. Think in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up first. That doesn't do nothing to me. I don't care what you think. Right? Forgiving someone doesn't mean you have to let them come back in your life. And again, fuck what they think. All right, Gemini. Gemini. What's this person want from Gemini, universe? What do they want from you? Hierophant. Hang on. Is this going where I think it's going? Now, again, disclaimer, y'all. When it's what do they want from you, this is from their perspective. Okay? When I pull this first spread and I'm reading what they want, this is from their perception and their perspective. Not my perspective. This is not me giving you advice until I pull the advice spread. But this is the way they see you and what they want. So hang on, let me get the rest of the spread out here. Ooh, why does the devil card keep coming out for everybody? Aries, Taurus, and now Gemini all got the devil card. Different decks. You'll never see me pull 2 spreads in a row with the same deck, ever. Whenever I pull another spread, I grab a different deck, and the devil card keeps coming out. So first of all, this person is wondering if you have learned your lesson. They want you to learn your lesson, right? They're also wondering if you have found out about some secret that they was keeping. Definitely not somebody you can trust. Not at all. I think that's the main thing here. That's the biggest underlying message here. Something about whether or not you learned your lesson. I don't know what the hell that means. But, I mean, learning your like that. This sounds so fucking incredibly toxic, because when you have a toxic person that's creating toxic scenarios and they're flipping it on you to make you feel and sound like the crazy one, like you need to learn your lesson, like you did something wrong, and it's like, yeah, I learned my lesson. My lesson is to stay the fuck away from people like you, you know? But some of you dealt with somebody that has some sort of addiction issue, potentially. I really think that they mainly want a sexual connection with you, too. For some of you, I don't know who needs to hear this, but some of you are dealing with somebody that wants a sexual connection with no strings attached. Yeah. I know that's kind of a specific message that's not really going to hit a bunch of different groups of you. But somebody wants to be single and they want a sexual connection. And whatever you learning your lesson means, I don't even know what the hell that means. With that devil card, 9 of Cups energy right there, that sounds pretty fucking demented. And Emperor reversed. Demented, twisted, and toxic. Like, they're the ones that need to learn a lesson. You know? You did learn your lesson. Don't even get me started on that. Let's get some advice. What the advice? What advice do we have? Mm-hmm. Man, Sun card. Hang on. Well, I will tell you this much. There is a karmic tie between you and this individual, which means there is a feeling or a sense of unfinished business, okay? Now, you are the only one who gets to decide whether or not the business is finished or unfinished. The way that works is you are the only being in the entire universe who gets to assign a meaning to the things that happen to you in your life. You're the only one that gets to do that. Now, as simple as that sounds, a lot of people, when I say that, they think that they're just going to sit and think for a minute and assign an experience of meaning. It doesn't work like that. You have to put the intention out to the universe. I'm trusting that you're going to show me why this happened. And you have to stand back and get the hell out of the way until the universe shows you why it happened. You know, a spiritual path, a real spiritual path, is 90% a trust-based path. As simple as that sounds, it's hard to do. It is hard to step back and just let the universe do what it's got to do and stay out of the way. I mean, if you want, you can sit and try to think about it and figure it out. But what I've learned on my journey and the mountains that I've climbed in my life, something happens that goes against what I had planned or something hurtful or painful. I step back and I say, one of these days, this is going to make sense. I think about it. Does it make sense yet? Not really. Okay, it's not time yet. 3 months, 6 months later, does it make sense yet? Nope, not really. It's not time yet. And then throughout that course, little dots are going to start to connect. You'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, I think I kind of am starting to get a little bit of an understanding as to why that happened. I learned this, I learned that. This wouldn't have happened this way, that wouldn't have happened that way. So the picture's kind of starting to come together. I promise you, if you can hold on to that, one of these days, the universe going to smack you and say, okay, now look at it. Now look at it. You're going to laugh your ass off. The universe has a sense of humor in everything that it does, if you can step back and trust the process. But try not to judge this situation and allow the universe to create something new for this situation. And this karmic tie needs to be cut, because with this type of situation, I don't know what it is you got going on here, but this is just going to continue looping around and repeating the same cycle and repeating the same cycle and repeating the same cycle. If you can stick with the path the universe puts you on and trust that path, by the time 2030 gets here, you're going to look back on this and laugh. The most spiritual people on the planet, the best manifestors, the people with the best relationship with the universe, contrary to how it looks from the outside looking in, they have nothing figured out. I know that's how it looks sometimes. And there are spiritual people that try to lead you to believe that that's the way it is, but it's not. The best manifestors and the most awakened people have nothing figured out. They've only figured out one thing. What they figured out is how to get out of the way and let the universe work for them. I have no idea what's coming tomorrow. I have no fucking clue. But I know that no matter what it is, it's eventually going to work out for my benefit. Even if something bad was to happen tomorrow. You know, even if something scary was to happen tomorrow, I know that eventually I'm going to look back on it and laugh. Eventually it's going to serve my highest good. It's going to work for my benefit. There's two ways of looking at life. Either things happen to you or things happen for you. And whichever lens you choose to view the world through, you're exactly right. It's your choice. All right, Cancer. Cancer. Let's see what this person wants from you. What do they want from Cancer? Damn, 3 of Swords again. For those of you dealing with somebody that cheated on you, they want you to forgive them. Hang on a second. They want you to come chasing after them, too. For those of you dealing with somebody that you're not in contact with. If you're dealing with somebody you're not in contact with, they want you to be the one to break the silence as well. But also, too, I think that this individual is convinced that you have feelings that you're not showing. And they want you to open up and show those feelings. But again, the million-dollar question is why? I'm not seeing here that their goal is to be with you. I think it would just make them feel better about themselves. Like it's an itch that they can't scratch. They're just convinced that you have feelings you're not showing, or convinced that you're being closed off, and they want to know how you really feel just to suffice their own curiosity and make them feel better about themselves. And again, they want you to come chasing after them, not with the goal of being with you, but because that would make them feel better about themselves. They want you to want them. They want you to miss them. Because it would make them feel validated. It would make them feel better about themselves. Let's get the advice. Ooh, the Fool card. Hang on. What is that about? So, okay. I'm trying to figure out how to get this advice to cover all different kinds of situations, right? Because I know that there's some of you dealing with a past person, some of you dealing with a current person, some of you dealing with a new person, some of you dealing with a love interest. I'm going to try to see if I can get this to cover as many of those situations as possible. I think for the majority of you, this feels like either a past person or some kind of connection that's just going wrong. First of all, don't ignore the red flags. Don't ignore them. And again, that goes back to when somebody shows you their true colors, don't try to repaint them. I think for a lot of you, especially if you are in separation with this person, take some time, not just to heal. I'm not going to go on the healing lecture, but take some time for the dust to settle. Swim to the surface and get some air so you can think clearly before you even think about revisiting this. Because you know how I used the analogy the other night where it's like watching a movie for the first time since you were a little kid. Have you done that? I'm sure a lot of you have done that. How many millennials we got? Got any 80s babies? I'm 88. We got any millennials? So you know, back in the 90s, maybe your favorite Disney movie. I'll tell you what one of my favorite Disney movies was, Brink. Remember that? With the rollerbladers, the dudes rollerblading and shit. Oh man, I love that movie. I recorded it on videotape, and I must have watched that movie 1,000 fucking times. And then at some point in the late 90s, around 98, 99, I pushed play and watched it for the very last fucking time and just never watched it again. And then I looked it up on YouTube about 3 years ago. I was like, oh my God, man, it's been damn near 20 something years since I've watched that movie. Let's watch it again. And I watched it again and was like, oh my God, I didn't even understand that movie back then. What did I like about it? I mean, yeah, it looks cool, the rollerbladers and doing all their tricks and shit, but as far as the plot of the movie and the concepts behind it and the ideas and what was actually happening, I knew nothing about that when I was 9, 10 years old. Now that I see it from a higher perspective, it makes more sense than it did back then. With a situation like this, if you can allow yourself to do just a little bit of growth, yes, healing is important. It's very important, but I'm putting that aside. This will actually help the healing process, honestly. Spend a little bit of time away, do some reflecting, do some thinking, and then you revisit it, and then it all starts clicking into place. It's like, oh shit. Now I see you for who you really are. Now I see this whole situation for what it really was. What the fuck was wrong with me? I thought that that's the best that I could do. Seriously? You'll look back on it and laugh. You hear me say that a lot. I mean it. I mean it. I think one of my guilty pleasures, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just what it is. Every now and then, at least once a month, somehow, some way, I'll see a picture show up on my feed of somebody that I wanted to be with so bad, like 10 years ago. So bad. And now, when I see their picture float by, I'm like, ooh, thank you, universe, for not giving me what I thought I wanted. I wanted that. If I had what I thought I wanted back then, that's who I'd be with right now. I'm so glad that didn't fucking happen that way. To me, that is one of the top 5 best feelings in life. Is when you look back on something that hurt you and you're glad it happened that way. I love that feeling. Give yourself some time to allow that day to approach you, okay? Because it will, I promise you. All right. Leo, what does this person want from you? What's this person want from Leo? King of Swords. For some of you, this person wants you to be less emotional. I don't know, maybe if this person might think you're a little bit extra. Maybe they think you're a little bit too emotional. I think they want to be with you. Yeah. Okay. I think they want to be with you. They just think that you're a little much. You're a little extra. You're a little too much. They want you to tone it down a little bit. Okay? I think this is an easily intimidated person. Let's put it like that. Let's word that a little bit differently. They're an easily intimidated person. They want you to tone it down a little bit. You're too intense. You're too much. You're too extra. You're too bombastic, you know? But I mean, with the Ten of Cups here, I do think that they would like to be with you. They just want you to water yourself down. And we all know what you can do with a person that doesn't want you to be your authentic self. Now, these lines get really, really blurred here, and it gets really slippery with, you know, being true to you doesn't mean that you don't have any flaws. It doesn't mean that you have nothing that you need to work on. It doesn't mean take me as I am, flaws and everything, fuck you. You know, we all have flaws. We all have things that we need to work on, right? So this is where the lines get a little bit blurred in there, right? Make sure that you are aware of the things you need to work on, the flaws that you have, and be working on those things, right? And be authentically you in the process. As long as you're doing that and you are working towards evolving into a better version of yourself, be authentically you, 100%. And if somebody doesn't like that, deuces, man. I got time for you. I got no fucking time for you. Nope. And again, what's the card of the night? The Devil card. They want a sex connection too. But I also think they want to be with you too. I don't know. Honestly, this person kind of feels a little bit pathetic. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Maybe they just don't really have very many options. Maybe you were one of the few that gave them the time of day. If you're dealing, this is another card of the night too. God damn, if you're dealing with somebody that you're not in contact with, they want you to break the silence. So let me just throw something out there generally, and this is to everybody. Okay. Generally speaking, the person who ended it is the one responsible for fixing it. The person who walked away is the one responsible for coming back. Now, you may say, well, what if they did me wrong and I walked away? Okay. It's still up to you to initiate the reconciliation. What's up to them is to let you know, look, I'm sorry. Just want to let you know that I do greatly regret what I did. And I just want you to know that. That's their responsibility. But if you walked away, it's not their responsibility to chase after you, and vice versa, right? So I don't know who needed to hear that. Because I get that question sometimes in my personal readings. I ended it last month. Will he come back to me? No, probably not, because you ended it. I wouldn't either if you ended it with me. If you broke it off with me, I'm not going to chase your punk ass. Anyway, let's get some advice. What's the advice for Leo? We're on Leo, right? What's the advice for Leo? Ace of Swords. If you are wanting communication, it is going to have to be you that initiates it. If you're sitting around waiting on communication, you're going to be waiting a long time. Oh, Ten of Swords reverse. Don't even think about trying to open communication until you've done some healing. Unless, well, even closure, when I advise sending someone a closure message, I need to revamp that speech a little bit. The closure message is like a last case scenario. When something just went wrong between you and somebody 2 weeks ago, the energy is not sufficient for closure yet. It's just not. It's not sufficient enough for that. It's not going to work. That's not real closure. That's not genuine. It's not going to, the energy on both ends. You know, maybe on one end, possibly, but on both ends, the energy is not sufficient enough to completely close itself out to shift into a new vibrational frequency. When I advise that you send a closure message, this is for when you've been working on healing something for a long time. Like when I do it, if I send someone a closure message, oh, I've been working on releasing it for at least 3 years, 4 years, you know, and it's like you release 98% of that energy and there's still that pesky little energy thread attaching the two of you. And it's such an annoying pain in the ass. So it's like, well, you know what? I'm just going to have to shoot a closure message. I'm just going to have to. You know, but if you do, just know if you do initiate communication right now, it is more than likely going to end up resulting in a reconciliation attempt. And with the way energy looks right now, a reconciliation attempt would end up manifesting into a repeat cycle. Do what you can to switch frequencies and change into a new vibration before you think about doing that. Okay, so anything else? No, same thing. Okay. Virgo. Voigo. What's up with my fucking Voigos? You hear? Virgo. What's this person want from you? Virgo. Oh, there it is. Oh, shit. 10 of Pentacles. Hang on. I think I know where this is going, but I want to put the rest of the spread out just in case. Yep. I knew it. This person's putting on a show for you. I don't think this is quite so much what they want from you as much as it is they want you to see them a certain way. You know? And of course, the way they want you to see them is a load of shit. It's bullshit. They want you to perceive them a certain... So like, for example, if it's somebody that you separated from, they want you to think they're just doing so amazing in life now, and they've never been better. They're doing so much better without you. And, you know, if this is a potential love interest or, you know, hell, I guess maybe even a current person, take it however it resonates. They want you... The way they want you to see them is very, very superficial. Very on the surface. They just want you to see them a certain way. It's not really saying what they want from you per se. I think it's just a psychological thing, really. It's mainly a psyop with the Two of Swords Magician. Four of Swords reversed. That feels like a psyop to me. It's mainly about how they want you to see them. 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. And to try to dig into that a little bit deeper, probably to make you feel a little bit stupid or regretful. Especially if it's a past person. Of course, what do we all want our exes to feel? Regret, right? Come on, don't lie. We all do. You want your ex to regret it, right? Of course you do. I do too. It's okay. But there's a difference between trying to do that deceitfully and do it truthfully. Like, I dedicated my life to making my exes regret it, but it's truthful. You know what I'm saying? What they see is the truth. You know? Other people are more concerned about creating an illusion. It's blowing smoke up your ass. They want you to be regretful, but it's all bullshit. You know? You're not really missing out on what it looks like you're missing out on. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some advice. That was a strange message. I didn't expect that. Let's get some advice. Full card. Okay, hang on a second. Feel it out first. First and foremost, with the High Priestess in the upright, feel it the fuck out. Follow your intuition on this. But for those of you who can intuitively feel that the timing is lining up, I don't think there would be anything wrong with initiating communication with this person, as long as it feels right. If you initiate communication with this person, keep them at a hell of an arm's distance while you watch and observe them. If you communicate with this person and you open up communication and you reconnect with them, be sure you take the time to study and observe every area and aspect of their life. Don't just listen to what they say to you. That's the biggest mistake people make. When somebody changes, and honestly, this is something that probably very few of you have seen, because most people just don't fucking change. But if you ever get the chance to witness somebody evolve, and hopefully if you evolve, you'll see that when a person changes, their whole life changes. Every nook and cranny and aspect and facet and corner of their life changes. Everything does. Nothing in their life stays the same. Nothing. So when you reconnect with somebody, of course they're going to lead with their best foot forward. Of course they're going to put on this big old Emmy Award winning performance to make it look like they've become this different person. Okay. I'm going to watch every other aspect of your life. And if they're still sitting in the same spot, doing the same shit, kicking it with the same people, acting the same way to their friends and family, everything else in your life is the same, except for with me. Really? Really? Oh, I'm a changed person. So you've only changed with me, but everything else is the same? Bullshit. Bullshit! When a person changes, their whole fucking life changes. Everything changes. Their whole lifestyle changes. It has to. It happens by default, right? So just be careful with that. Be very careful with that. And hey, maybe there's a couple of you dealing with somebody who genuinely has made a real change. In which case, proceed with caution. Okay, Libra. Libra, let's see what this person wants from you. What do they want from Libra? What do they want from you? Ooh, they want you to feel sorry for them. I think this person wants your sympathy. They want you to let your guard down. They want you to let your guard down. They want you to not want anyone think they want all of this to be by sympathy and regret. Mainly sympathy. I don't know if this is the type of person to actually throw pity parties. Whether they are or they're not, though, they want you to feel sorry for them. Like, oh, I know you fucked me over, and it's because you have been through this and you've been through that, and this happened to you and that happened to you. So in that case, that gives you a license to treat me like shit. Okay. Yes, you have a license to treat me however you want because something bad happened to you. That, you know what I'm saying? You know that energy? Oh, man. They want you to make a solid decision. Maybe for some of you, this person may think you're a little bit too wishy-washy, a little bit too fickle and flaky, and they want you to be a little bit more decisive. And anything else? No, that's the same thing. Okay. No. All right. And they want you to open up and express your feelings. But I have this funny feeling that you have. They're just in this place in their mind, in this little fairy tale fantasy land, where they want your feelings to be different. They're convincing themselves that the feelings you have expressed are false, and they want you to express your real feelings, aka they just want you to feel the way they want you to feel, and they're not accepting the fact that you've spoken your mind, if that makes sense. Jesus, this is a little heavier than I thought it would be. Let's get some advice. Watch the advice. Advice. What is the best advice? Oh, magician. Monitor your vibration. Monitor your frequency. And when it all comes down to it, feel it the fuck out. Don't let how you feel about someone take the wheel. Pay more attention to how the connection feels, how it makes you feel. All right? If hanging out with you leaves me with this fucked up feeling in the pit of my stomach, if it makes me lose sleep at night, if I'm laying awake at night wondering if I'm good enough or what I did wrong or what I need to do to make you like me better and this shit and that shit, that's not somebody you need in your life. Not somebody you need in your life at all. At all. Don't be afraid to put your foot down and stand on business. And do not let somebody play with your emotions. A huge red flag. You know what'll make me like stay the fuck away from somebody? Somebody who's always fishing for sympathy. I will that will make me like steer very clear of you. That doesn't mean I'm not a sympathetic person. But the sympathy that I give, I know how to determine if I should be sympathetic towards you. I know how to watch you. I know what you got going on in your life. I can watch you from afar and decide whether or not you deserve my sympathy. If you're fishing for it, constantly fishing for it, no, I don't like that. I don't roll like that. You shouldn't have to fish for it. If you're going through something that deserves my sympathy, I will see that. I will take note of that. I will observe that. And I will give you my sympathy. I have a lot like, okay, so homeless people, for example. Y'all know I was homeless 10 years ago. In the last half of 2015, I lived under a bridge for the last half of that year. You know who I'm more likely to give money to? That homeless person that's sitting over there in the corner minding their own business. Staying out of everybody's way, not trying to make a spectacle of themselves, not trying to draw attention to themselves, just sitting over there, hanging out by themselves. I will go out of my way. I will go to the ATM, grab a 20 or a 40 or 50 or whatever, come back and be like, yo, here, there you go. Not the person who's trying to make you feel sorry for them, standing there on the fucking highway exit, trying to make you feel sorry for them. No. Watch out for people who fish for sympathy. Watch out for that, okay? So, and don't be afraid to shut someone down, especially if it's somebody that's already taken advantage of your sympathy and your kindness before. If they've already done that, don't be afraid to shut them down. And yeah, they gonna throw a fit. Oh yeah, you already know. They gonna throw a fit and they gonna call you all these horrible names. And at that point, that's when you have to be okay with being the villain in someone's story. At some point, you have to say, oh, okay, that's fine. Oh, I'm this bad, horrible person. Okay. What you tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself, boo-boo. Whatever helps you sleep at night. Oh, you gonna go tell everyone? Okay. Go tell it on the mountain. I don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. I know where my heart is. I know what my intentions are. A toxic person's worst nightmare is someone who doesn't give a fuck about anyone else's opinion. Because when somebody doesn't give a fuck about anyone's opinion, you can't manipulate them. You can't control them. Because that is the biggest manipulation tool, and the most powerful manipulation tool is shame. Fear of public shame. That's why the powers that be really can't stand someone who doesn't care about people's opinion. Because they can't be controlled. Right? So, all right. Scorpio. Scorpio, what's this person want from you? Hang on a second. Three of Pentacles reversed. So honestly, this is kind of unclear. Now this, okay, so like I said, I'm trying to see how many different kinds of situations I can cover. And I'm having a really hard time with this. This looks very specifically like a past person situation. And I'm having a really hard time stretching it out to fit anything else. So this person's been patiently waiting for the right opportunity for a reconciliation attempt. However, they're not seeing the right opportunity. So they're wanting, when it all comes down to it, what they're wanting is for something bad to happen to you. They're wanting to see something bad happen to you. Best case scenario, or at minimum, at the very bare minimum, they'd be able to go to sleep at night. But when something bad happens to you and you're at a weak, vulnerable state, then it's easy to slide up in there and work your way back in somebody's life, right? It's much easier. When somebody waits until you're vulnerable to pop back in and see what's going on with you, careful with that. Careful with that. But honestly, this looks like reconciliation. That's what this looks like. And like I said, this person's getting a little bit impatient. So it's kind of like they can't really feel you out there. They don't really know quite where you stand exactly. So this is one of those things where if reconciliation is not on the table, then they'll dress it up and disguise it as closure, you know? So basically what that all boils down to is that they have no plans of showing you how they feel until you show them how you feel. But dig deeper down, a deeper layer than that, the type of person who would wait until you're vulnerable to make an appearance in your life is a manipulator, right? So if you have two people who are emotionally closed off to each other, One of them is a manipulator. And you open up and show the manipulator how you feel first. Do you think they're just going to follow through and act like an adult? No. They're going to play with it. They're going to play with it. They're going to play mind games and emotion games with you. Absolutely. Let's get some advice. What advice do we have for Scorpio? Oh shit, Ace of Cups reversed. This is saying don't show this person how you feel. Let me get the rest of the spread out. Yeah. Be careful and picky and choosy what you let them know regarding how you feel about anything. Anything. It would probably honestly be best if you don't show any bias at all. Now, this can be hard for some people to do. Air signs are typically really good at this, but a lot of other signs and a lot of other people struggle with not showing emotion. So what they do is, rather than flip the switch and turn it off, the only thing most people can think to do is cover one emotion with another one to mask this emotion. That's all they can really think to do. So if I'm feeling sad, I'm going to laugh and pretend that I'm happy. Right? That type of energy. If I'm stupid and embarrassed, I'm gonna pretend that I'm confident. They don't know how to just flip it off and turn it all off. No happiness, no sadness, no anger, no bitterness, no resentment, no nothing. Just cool and neutral. That would be the best way to deal with this person. So, like, we'll use the example of fishing for sympathy again. You know, when somebody fishes for sympathy. Oh, man, I just lost my job. I'm probably going to get evicted from my apartment. Damn, that sucks. Sorry to hear about that. Neutral. My condolences. Sorry to hear about that. That sucks. That's no good. Because you know what they're doing. You know they're pushing your feelers to try to soften you up and get you feeling sorry so that you'll extend an olive branch. And for the majority of you, that olive branch is gone, isn't it? They done ripped it off the tree. They done drained you dry for every fucking thing that you have to offer. So stay neutral. And these people are really good at this. They're really good at testing and pushing and poking and seeing how you feel about this and how you react to that and what you think about this and how you feel about that. And I guess the question is it even worth talking to someone that you have to be that guarded towards? Like, at the end of the day, that's the $10 million question. I'm not saying do it. I'm not saying talk to them. All I'm going to say, though, is if you do choose to talk to this person, just know you're really going to need to be on guard, because they are going to be looking for chinks in your armor. Just know that. Take that and do with it what you will. All right, Sagittarius. 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 What does this person want from you? God damn it, this keeps coming out for everybody, don't it? So, again, get over it. Let it go. Whatever that means. Whatever they did to you, whatever happened between the two of you, let it go and get over it. Move on. They want a sex connection. 100%. I think that's the main. Yeah, this kind of looks to me like somebody that wants a sex connection with no strings attached. With the Seven of Swords, Devil, and the Hermit. And a lot of you, by get over it, they want you to not just forget about it, but they want you to believe their bullshit. Some of y'all are dealing with somebody that is straight out, bold face, out and out lying. And you done caught them. You called them out. You called them out. And they're still wanting you to believe their bullshit. But either way, they want you to just let go. Let go of it. Get over it. Let go of it and move on. That's all I can get out of this spread right here. That is all I'm getting out of this. Okay, that was quick. Well, let's get the advice then. What's the advice for Sagittarius? Three of Pentacles reversed. The first thing is important to note is that this person has no plans of actually being your teammate. At the end of the day, that's going to go nowhere. Nowhere. We have to be working together as a team. We have to be. Period. Also, this is not somebody you can trust. At all. At all. And especially those of you who have already caught this person in multiple lies. One thing that I read quite frequently that comes across my desk, much more often than you would think, is something along the lines of this. He cheated on me 2 years ago, then we broke up, then we got back together. He cheated again, then we broke up again, then we got back together again. 5 months ago, I caught him talking to other girls, and then he said he quit. And last week, I caught him talking to other girls again, and he said he quit again. Is he ever gonna quit? Is he ever gonna change? He's already shown you that he's never gonna change. Are you gonna change? When are you gonna quit putting up with it? Who needs to change here? Sounds like you need to change. You need to quit putting up with that bullshit. When somebody shows you who they are once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, that's who they are. That's who they are. Don't get it twisted. I believe in second chances, but only second chances. Because when you give somebody a second chance, there's 2 types of people. There's the type of person, and this is a rare breed, who is genuinely in their heart going to say, oh my God, thank you. I'm so glad I got a second chance. I'm going to take full advantage of this and never do that again. That was a privilege. You didn't have to give me a second chance. I'm really going to take advantage of this. I'm never going to do that again. And they actually make a change. That's a rare breed. The majority of them, though, when you give them a second chance, they're going to say, I got your weakness. Okay. I know how to get what I want out of you now. I know exactly what buttons I need to push on the combination lock to get the door to pop open. And they ain't going to change. They ain't going to change nothing. So if I give you a second chance and I, for a minute, think that you're viewing me giving you a second chance as a sign of my weakness, oh, you're out of here. You are out of here. You're out of here. Nope, fuck you. Nope. You get a second chance and that's it. That is it. If I don't see a shred of actual progress being made, which most of the time it's not, give somebody a second chance, they just do exactly what they did last time. Nope, I'll never talk to you again. Nope, that was it. That was it. So, anyway, though, Yeah. Not somebody you can trust. For those of you suspicious that you might not be able to trust them, your intuition is bang on the money. For those of you dealing with somebody who has shown you over and over and over and over that you can't trust them, you still can't and you never will be able to. All right, Capricorn. Capricorn. What's this person want from you? Three of Wands. I think they're waiting to hear from you. Just hang on. Let me get the rest of the spread out. Yeah, Tower reverse, Three of Wands. This really feels like a past person type of deal. They're waiting to hear from you. I think they want closure. Well, there's the Tower reverse too. So I think that they're kind of, in their mind, tossing around reconciliation or closure. I think they're kind of tossing them both around, you know? Yeah. I'm surprised Two of Swords hasn't come out. Because this is very Two of Swords-y type of energy. There's reconciliation, and then there's closure. But, like I said, they've been waiting to hear from you. I do think that they do see the error of their ways. They absolutely do. There it is. There it is. I knew it was going to come out. Two of Swords. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they know exactly what they want from you. Especially if this is somebody you haven't talked to in a long time. They don't know exactly what they want. Something along the lines of, we'll see if it's reconciliation or closure. One of the two. So, yeah, they don't really know. They don't really know. All right, let's get the advice. Advice for Capricorn. What's the advice? Ooh, Ace of Swords reversed. It's saying initiating communication wouldn't be a very good idea right now. Why is that? Two more shuffles. Two more. Well, so it's really, really, really time for you to level up. Now, the person you're dealing with, I'm not saying that they don't have intentions of getting closure. That this person has not vibrationally shifted. They're still pretty much the same person you walked away from. Maybe a little bit better. You know, if you think about a frequency bandwidth as a space like this, right? Between here and here, this is one vibrational bandwidth. And if you're tuned into this vibrational bandwidth, you are a vibrational match to anything and anyone between here and here. So maybe while y'all were together, they were down here and now they're further up here. They're still in the same frequency. You're shifting to a new frequency. So if you do reconnect with this person, there is a 50-50 chance that it could end up in a reconciliation attempt. It's time for you to change frequencies. If you bring somebody back into your life in the same vibrational frequency that you connected with them last time, it's going to loop around and repeat the same cycle. because the primary law is the law of vibration. Even though, like I said, there may be a little bit of a frequency change with this person, a little bit, you're still tuned into the same frequency. So if this person's tuned into 93.1 top country hits, all right, you can still turn that radio dial a little bit, you know, and get closer to 94.6, but it's still 93.1. So if you reconnect with this person, even though it's moved a little bit closer to the next frequency, it's still 93.1. So you're still going to experience the same thing. You're still going to experience country music like you did last time. See what I'm saying? So just be thinking about that. Time to level up. It's really time to level up. But I mean, at the end of the day, we all have to ask ourselves, level up or not? Would I rather go through that shit again or just be by my fucking self? What's worse, being alone or going through that bullshit again? What's worse? Open-ended question. I'd rather be alone than bring some toxic, manipulative, lying, sneaky, shady, shitty person into my life. I'll die alone. Fuck that. Fuck that. I don't need somebody that fucking bad, right? Guess everybody sees it differently, but just be thinking about that. It's time to level up. Time to level up. All right, Aquarius. Aquarius, what does this person want from you? Boo-doo-boo. What does this person want from Aquarius, universe? Well, first thing, they want to know how you feel. They really want to know how you feel. And I really get a very strong idea that they are convinced that you have feelings that you're not showing. Right? That's the main thing that I'm getting here. They really want to know how you feel. They want you to miss them. They want you to regret it, whatever the hell that means. And they don't want to see you move on and do better. They don't want to see that at all. I think nothing would make them jump for joy more than seeing you at rock bottom. Oh, they would just jump for joy if you were at rock bottom. They would love that. So I don't really know if they actually want anything from you per se, as much as they want the perception out there that they're doing better than you are. If that makes sense. I know it sounds so stupid, and it is, but a lot of stupid fucks out there, bro. Whole lot. A whole lot. Also, they want you to feel sorry for them. They want you, like I said, they want you to regret it, whatever that means. They want you to either regret walking away or calling them out on their bullshit, or maybe for some of you, they did something really fucked up that caused you to walk away. And they want you to feel sorry for them because they've been through so much. Oh, I have a license to treat you like shit because of all the stuff that I've been through. I'm damaged. I had an abusive childhood. I went through this, I went through that. So I deserve to treat you like shit. You should feel sorry for me and let me treat you however I want. That type of shit. I don't think it's something that they want from you, per se. It's more of a perception-based. Because now, don't get it twisted, I think they would love for you to come chasing after them with a love offer. Oh, they would love that, you know. because it would, oh man, nothing would make them feel 10 feet tall quite like you chasing after them and them turning you down. They would love that. But I don't think that that's at the top of the priority list. I think the main thing is a perception-based type of deal. Okay, these readings did not turn out at all like what I thought they would. I haven't done this in months, so I didn't really remember how it went last time, but these are some fucking Mercury retrograde messages are always messy, boy. What's the advice for Aquarius? This is Aquarius, right? Yeah, okay. Advice for Aquarius. Ooh, boy, I'm gonna tell you what, hang on. You got major blessings waiting on you. That being energetically tied to this person will block. Now, you're not a victim. Okay? It's not something that they can do to you. What blocks it is you holding on to their energy. That's what blocks it. So, let me see what else comes through here. You got blessed. A lot of y'all, that's your person right there, bro. That's your motherfucking person, bro. Don't let your guard down when it comes to this person. Now, what I would do, look, okay. It's time. It's time. It's one thing to not respond or react to a person. I'm not saying that's not good. That's good. Definitely keep that up. But then after a while, you got to take it to the next level. You got to take it to the next level and actually completely remove your focus from it altogether. Quit looking at them. Quit stalking them. Quit spying on them. Quit paying attention to what they're doing. Quit paying attention to what they got going on. Block them if you have to. At some point, you have to actually release it. Okay? It doesn't matter what it looks like you're doing. It doesn't matter if everybody and their grandma's dog thinks that you've gotten over this. If you haven't, that's what the universe responds to. I was saying this to some other sign earlier. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. It doesn't matter if everyone thinks that you've gotten over it. If you haven't, the universe knows. And that's what the universe responds to. The universe responds to the energy that's actually coming from your heart and mind. And so this right here, it's time to release. And the only reason I say that is because if you can figure out how to do that, which you have to be ready. At the end of the day, I can't just tell you to do that. You have to be ready for it. Those of you who are ready and willing to just completely release, shut the door on it, put it behind you, and trust the process. Those of you who do that quickly, swiftly, and efficiently, 1 year from today, will be with your person. And you know I don't say that very often. I don't say it unless it comes through. All right. That was Aquarius. Pisces. Pisces. Boo buddy doo. What deck do I want to use? Let's use my 2 Egyptian decks. Miss Cleo and Egyptian Art Nouveau. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know how to pronounce that word. All right, what's this person want from Pisces? Temperance reversed. Ooh, some of you, okay, so this person does want to be with you, but they want you to be patient with them. For some of you, this person wants you to be less argumentative. Okay. They don't want, yeah. Okay. So they want you to be patient with them means they want you to be biased. They don't want you to be level-headed. They don't want you to be the type of person that puts your foot down, sets boundaries, speaks up for yourself. You know, they want you to be patient with them, right? So the question, though, now this person does have feelings for you and they do want to be with you. But the question is, I can understand being patient with somebody, but what is it I'm being patient for? There's a difference between being patient with you and tolerating bullshit. There's a difference there. If you're working to better yourself, I'll be patient with you. But if you just think you're going to treat me however the fuck you want, and I'm just going to bend over and take it, you can fuck all the way off. And I think a lot of you are really getting to that point. Really getting to that point where you're about at the end of your fucking rope, aren't you? And they want you to be patient. But I just don't think this person's really working to better themselves. I don't think they are. I don't think they are. So that's about all I can get out of that spread right there. And yeah, they want you to be less argumentative. Basically, they don't want you to defend yourself. There's a difference between being defensive and defending yourself against an attack. There's a difference there. Don't ever let nobody belittle you for defending yourself against an attack. That's a really common manipulation tactic people will use. Oh, why are you so defensive? Because you're attacking me. Oh, well, it's not my problem that you feel attacked. I don't feel attacked. You're attacking me, and I'm going to fucking defend myself. Period. You're not going to manipulate me into letting you talk to me and treat me like a fucking dog. You attack me, I'm going to fucking defend myself. And if you don't like it, you can fuck off. Simple as that. I think a lot of you are getting there, aren't you? Hang on, there's a super chat here. I don't even know how to pronounce your name, but I appreciate that super chat. Thank you very much. Let me give it a heart real quick. Boom. Okay. All right. Are we at the advice? Advice. Let's see what advice we have. I don't like to just come straight out and say it, but this is telling me that this is a waste of time. I'll say this. Like I said, I believe in second chances. I'm all about some second chances. For those of you who have already given this person a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 10th chance, it's a waste of time. Now, if you haven't, I'm all for second chances. I mean, again, we don't want to blur the lines too much because, you know, there needs to be boundaries set. If this person crossed the fucking line and committed a deal breaker, you need to put your foot down and stand on that. But if you do choose to give this person a second chance, watch how they take advantage of this second chance. Pay attention to that. That's going to tell you everything you need to know. Now, I'm not saying that they should be expected to flip a switch and turn into this perfect little person overnight. That's unrealistic. But we're looking for progress. Looking for progress. I want to at least see you putting forth effort. Some kind of effort. If I can actually witness you actually taking accountability and working, you don't have to be perfect overnight, then we're good. As long as I'm watching you steadily, consistently, leveling up little bit by little bit, making little bits of progress, we're good. But you give them a second chance and they just turn right back around and do exactly what they did last time. Don't stand for that. Don't stand for that. It's time to walk away from that. Unless you just want to keep looping around in a loop-de-loop on the merry-go-round, going through the same old shit over and over and over. If you're cool with that, then by all means, I have no right to tell you how to live your life if you enjoy that kind of shit. But for those of you who want a change, there's not going to be a change until you make a change. All right? All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that all my signs of the zodiac needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is all down here in the description. All right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.